How have you been, man?
Fucking busy, crazy busy. I have a resident gimp in the office now, full time. I bring him out once in a while.
Hey. All right, so for everyone who doesn't know, introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Dave Dirickson, formerly known as the artist Psychotiller. No, I'm still Psychotiller, formerly known as Dave Dirickson. This is Matt McLeod.
Hi, Matt.
No. I want one of those shirts.
One of these shirts? Yeah, I can send you one.
Right on, right on.
Nice. Okay.
This is the same one you got me for the interview. Like, what was it, 2 years ago when we were talking to Jeremy Bogan?
Oh, that's right. You got that for a while.
Yeah, that's been a minute. So we were all talking to Jeremy Bogan, and he was showing us his boards. And well, I guess that was that. Have you seen any?
No, maybe out in the woods. I'm unsure though.
I mean, they're all over Instagram. I keep seeing pictures of factories and remotes and things.
Yeah.
So what got you into esk8? What started this whole thing for you?
I don't know. When I was 7 or 8 years old, I used to skate around with my buddies in San Jose, and as I made my way up into my adulthood, I was still doing the same things. I never stopped. Skateboarding, snowboarding, surfing, it's just been kind of part of my life, my whole life. Everywhere I've gone, that's the people I've migrated to. Those are the people that I always seem to meet. And through the years, I met guys like Patrick McConnell from MBS Mountain Boards. I started kind of touring around the U.S. with those guys, doing downhill races. And then I started meeting other cats too, like the guys from Tyranny Rides. They made that goofy ass 2-wheeled longboard.
Yeah.
And all along the way, people were hooking me up with boards for free to kind of use as I saw fit. Some of those boards were like an esk8, one of those big ass gas powered mountain boards. And they kind of made a little impression on me. And then when I moved down here to Southern California, skateboarding in the riverbeds here, one of my buddies was like, we should put motors on these. And that, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, fuck yeah, that would be a blast in here. And that's pretty much how it started and ended almost all at the same time, because shortly after, while we were testing all of this stupid ass RC equipment and nunchucks and all kinds of shit that just seemed like it made perfect sense back then, I severed my PCL ligament in my knee.
Holy shit.
And that was like life-changing experience. It laid me up for almost a year. And then I suffered for another couple years until I decided to have the surgery to repair my knee. And in that time, being on disability, I was like, this fucking sucks. I had to lay down for 7 months. And in that time, I was so bored. I was like, I got to do something and monopolize on this money I'm getting from unemployment and disability.
Right.
So I kind of started putting money into figuring out how to make some skateboard parts. And then I never went back to work.
Holy shit. Yeah, I guess you didn't.
No, this is it.
So what did you do? Like, what was your job, your day job before that?
Heavy equipment operator. I was in Local 12, the union of heavy equipment operators here in SoCal.
Like excavators and bulldozers and stuff?
Oh yeah, bulldozers, scrapers, excavators, dump trucks, elevators, cranes, drill rigs, wicking machines, backhoes, lots of hose. I still have them.
That's like every kid's dream, though, driving around in Tonka trucks and backhoes and bulldozers and shit.
Yep. That was fun.
That's a crazy story, just tearing up your shit and then, like, not going back to work. That's, wow. What are you working on now? What's the big thing that Psychotiller is about to do? What's happening?
Big things now is this last year and a half or so, we've kind of teamed up with, and I wouldn't say teamed up, but kind of teamed up with esk8.11. We're working a lot with Chris Chaput. I've always loved esk wheels, and there's no shortage of good press on liquid trucks and jet decks. He seems to make good decisions here and there. More now that we're involved with him. That's right, I said that, Chaput. But no, we're halfway between moving everything out of my garage and trying to move it into esk8.11 full time.
Oh, wow.
That's turning into a chaotic adventure. Because all it is I have to work 8 to 10 hours here in my garage to keep up, or try to keep up. And then what you guys don't know is I drive from Lake Forest to Huntington Beach, which is a half hour, maybe 40-minute drive. And then I work until 4 in the morning.
Holy shit, doing what?
Making wheels and trucks.
Making wheels. Oh, that's where your machine shop is.
Yep. And then I come back home, and then I pass out for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then I got to get up and take my son to school.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, fuck, can't go back to sleep. So I just come back out into the garage and do it again until maybe I fucking pass out standing up at 3 in the afternoon. So this is my 7-day-a-week life now.
I have to admit, man, I'm a little jealous. I still have my day job.
Well, we're going to employ you at some point. You're
going to hire me? You're going to buy me out and hire me? Because that's
resistance is futile.
Oh, shit. I better... I'm hiding my batteries, Dave.
Yeah.
Don't take all my shit.
Yeah, we'll be needing some of those.
So a lot of people want to know. I want to know. And I know that there was a link posted to it on the forum. So anybody watching this, if you want to go to the forum and read about it. What is the story behind the name Psychotiller?
That's kind of an easy one. There's no real magic. I used to have motorcycles. The bikes I kind of loved to own and work on were the Suzuki TL 1000R. It's a V-twin sport bike. Looked a little bit like a Hayabusa.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of the smaller sister of the Busa. But being that it was a V-twin, it was just freaking crazy. The sound of that thing and the torque that it put out was amazing. And everybody called that bike a tiller. TLR. And then we were out somewhere and that song by Talking Heads came on and everybody was like, Psychotiller, just to say. You ever heard that?
Yes, I have.
There was a long delay. I was uncertain if you had heard that before.
Well, there's actually a question. Somebody had asked what your favorite Talking Heads song was. Yep. Obviously, that's it. Some people want to know, have you seen Jerry from Carvon?
There have been sightings, I think. He may or may not have been seen in the woods, but nobody knows for sure or can prove it. So he's lurking about somewhere, but I'm not sure if I believe it.
So he's essentially a myth at this point? Like,
he's a myth that's wearing one of Matt's brand new helmets that he hasn't paid for.
Size large, it's black. If anybody sees it.
I need another beer.
Beer break. So I heard you had a good time riding one of our boards on the track there in
I
Colorado.
had a great time riding that. What was that, a kill shot? Is that what
That
that is?
was a kill shot. Yeah, that's basically one of the new MasterCarve builds.
It had the wedge on it.
Were you cursing my name the whole time you were riding it?
No, I was essentially like, damn, Dave. And then I would hit another curve and it was like, damn, Dave. And then I would just like throttle out of another turn and it was like, fuck, damn, Dave.
Yeah.
I was pretty much, well, see, we brought urethane to a pneumatic party. And that was the problem. Like I kept reading about, tracks are for rubber. You need rubber on tracks. Doesn't matter what track you're on, like even if it's good, but we're so used to we're so used to riding around on paved bike trails and clean streets because Florida doesn't have snow and they don't have like that super dry heat that destroys roads. So all the pavement around here is pretty good. So urethane is pretty much king in our area. And I had never actually been to a racetrack before, or ridden around on a proper go-kart Grand Prix style go-kart track. And that shit is so sketch. Like the pavement is shit. Like I was sliding all around. Like I'm on the best wheels that I've ever ridden, and I get on that shit and I'm just sliding around. There's no grip. The stones are at the surface and they're super smooth and there's cracks everywhere. And, my unicycle's fine. And I get on Jamie's board and Jamie's board's basically a Red Ember Psychotiller build.
Yeah.
So that shit I've never ridden that fast in my life,
And you're riding on that with no grip tape.
Yeah, no grip tape.
I know. It freaks me out. I can't do it.
That is the fastest I've ever ridden in my life was on his board.
Nice.
The second fastest, I shit you not, was on that one that you sent up there, the green and black one. That shit killed it. Like, I was just coming out of the turns on that. It was on rails the whole time. I love your wheels anyway.
Yeah. It's like cheating.
Yeah.
We're like cheaters. We cheat on the 6-shooters. Those tires they're grippy. I can't wait to show everybody 6x3s.
Yes. Yeah, somebody was actually wondering how long until those are ready.
Those, our samples for testing were supposed to be here pretty much last week.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they're held up in customs or what's going on. I do have a tracking number, but it's basically dead in the water. So I'm just waiting on those to hit my doorstep, really.
So is that just like a fatter, squatter tire setup, or is the rim different also?
The rim is going to be different. I mean, well, the inside part of the rim is actually the same.
Uh-huh.
The outside part of the rim is almost an inch wider.
Oh, okay.
And as the tire is pretty much an inch wider.
Yeah, so that's a 3-inch. That's a 6x3.
And there's knobs in the middle of it, so it should pretty much make everyone happy.
Wow, so that might be pretty good on a dirt track as well as a street.
It may be good anywhere.
That sounds like what I need. I told Mo. Jake went up against Mo and his two stooges, all three of them, on urethane on a bioboards, and that was a mistake. Jake had them right up until the first turn, and then he sort of sketched out because that.
Then it got sketchy. I don't know why bioboards? Why did you send urethane?
I don't know.
Why bioboards did you send a gun to a knife fight?
That is exactly what happened. They sent Thane to a rubber fight, and what happened was Jake was on that shit. Jake was on Mo's ass.
Yeah.
So basically, bioboards they've used in the past, I think, two different wheels. They use the aluminum Trampas and the Haggies. And so they saw that, and I talked to them, and they're sending me Haggy adapters. So I'm buying some Haggies, And next year, Mo is going to need the good Charmin to keep Jake off his ass. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're going to have to put Haggies up against 6-shooters, too. We'll just see what everybody's saying.
Yeah, I want to see that, too. You know, if you can come up with some kind of adapter for that gear drive, it's a 3D Services gear drive, we will run Psychotillers on race day.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Could you imagine Bioboards, 4-wheel drive, 6374 on some Psycho?
Never know.
How was Chris Chaput doing anyway? Is he doing well? You speak to him all the time? You guys buddies?
Yeah, he's trucking along. He's still kind of always waiting on new test results from the labs and pretty much chasing answers. I don't know. It's kind of a tough thing to deal with. He can't really have a solid conversation without breaking down in a coughing fit. It's bad. He has it's a degenerative lung disease. So as it degenerates, it creates scarring, and as you know, scars never go away.
Got you.
So the more it progresses, the worse it gets, and there isn't actually any getting better.
Man, that's sad. I mean, he's like a great, you know, in the community.
He's a crazy wealth of knowledge, and we're doing our best to get our feet underneath us and get as much shit out there as we can right now.
He used to bug me all the time and send me pictures of like renderings of things he made. Like he just loves to model. He loves to make things. You know, he's such a maker. And
yep. You know what he does too is he says, "Hey, can I check that out?" And you put one of your parts in his hand, and he fucking models that shit in like 5 minutes, like a perfect rendering of your parts.
Yeah.
So that's how, I mean, ultimately, that's how this whole partnership thing kind of happened, because in probably a 15-minute sitting, he had my whole shop modeled.
I believe it. I believe it. The man, he's like some kind of CAD genius.
Yep.
Because we used to talk a lot, you know. He when I ordered my first set of ABEX from him, the 107s, he drew all over the box. Like he drew like skulls and pot leaves and all kinds of crazy shit all over the outside of the box. And when I got it in the mail, I was like, what the hell is going on? This is awesome. So I kind of kept the box. I've still got it.
I wonder if that was Mitch.
Was that you?
What? No, it wasn't me. It was one of those clowns.
Tell us about the Hexyl Trucks Ht Xls.
Upon first examination, you'll probably think that because it's a Hexyl hanger shape, that it's a complete ripoff of surf rod, which is basically what surf rods think. But when you actually have both of them in your hands and you examine them, or better yet, ride them and do an immediate comparison, you realize that it's a completely different truck. We're doing 240 and 260 millimeter hanger widths. We're doing standard 5/16 inch axles. They're standard length. They're hardened steel. They're not that shoulder bolt material that you get with surf rods. So they're like polished, smooth, hardened steel. We have a much wider bushing seat, which has been designed for a bushing called a Fat Cat. And it's a bushing, I want to say it's not twice the size of a standard barrel, but it's damn near twice the size in the actual diameter. And it's a little bit taller, and it has a three-dimensional tapered shape that's unlike any other tapered bushing. And what it does is it enables you to basically flip your bushings from fat side in towards the bushing seat on the hanger, to narrow side in on the bushing seat on the hanger, and fat side out towards like the nut cup and the base plate.
So you can just quickly change your geometry.
Well, not so much your geometry, but the softness and responsiveness of your bushings.
Oh, right on.
And another thing about our trucks is you can ride them loose as shit. And when you get on the board, you automatically know it's too loose. Fuck this. I would never ride this thing faster than 15, 20 miles an hour, because on TKPs, you know the outcome. You know what's going to happen, right? Because we've grown up tightening the shit out of our rear trucks if they're TKPs to make your board stable, you know, at a little faster speed. These things are stable at speed. Colorado Caddy didn't make any adjustments to the trucks that I sent them, and they had a mixture of a soft and a hard barrel bushing on them.
Yeah, that's the one I wrote.
Fairly loose, man. You know how tight it would carve, right?
They were carvy as shit, but I wasn't scared.
And I mean, they did 40 miles an hour on that track.
Easily.
That's what he posted, was 40 miles an hour. So pretty impressive to be able to pull that off, loose as shit on TKPs and no speed wobbles.
Yeah, that board was super stable and responsive. And it stayed wherever you put it. You know, your ankles are boss on that thing.
Yeah, no, I love the trucks, dude. That's my favorite thing. Out of all the new stuff this year, the trucks are insanely good. So I'm probably looking forward to a court date with Surf Rods.
Super improved their shit. Now they're all pissed off.
Yep.
In your opinion, do you think commercial boards are catching up with DIY, or do you think there's any chance of it? Like, from the perspective of someone who's basically bridging from DIY to commercial, I mean, I think we're all in that weird gray zone. You, me, LaCroix, you know, even Hoyt to some degree. We're all kind of just sort of moving from the DIY into the commercial, but not really, but sort of, yeah. So do you think that we're going to be like off the shelf? Do you think that commercial is going to try to catch up with us and compete with us proper?
Well, first part of your question, I would say you should probably give yourself a little more credit, because honestly, even Collie, that you've got to give us all a little more credit, in a sense that we're not commercial, but we've been fucking driving that industry in the right direction for the last few years, man. They come out with this stuff, they draw their shit up on napkins or on computers, and they have their team of people that go out and promote the shit out of it before they've even made a product. And then they collect whatever funds or investment that they need to get the factories building their design, the one design that they've drawn, not like iterations of it to make shit better, but that one original design. And then they pump it down the internet's throat, and maybe they buy 1,000, 5,000 units. But check it out. They still have the original design that was on that fucking piece of paper. It hasn't been tried and true tested, you know, through the community like our boards have, or our parts. It doesn't get tossed around through, you know, focus groups, so to speak.
Yeah.
It goes from this one drawing that they decide is great and marketable. What is this? Sweet. Skittles. And then they have a warehouse full of them, and then they got to continue to market them even when they start to figure out that their shit's going to break, or that they're going to get a ton of returns. They still market it. They still walk it. They still sling it, and then they go away. Seen it. They come and go really fast. The guys that come out saying their shit is the best, lightest, fastest,
most powerful
market.
Yeah.
And it never is. And the beauty of what you do, and the beauty of what I do, Collie, even BioBoards guys, Hoyt, LaCroix, there's probably a few more that I just failed to mention. The beauty of what we do I said bobbord.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
The beauty of what we do is
Yeah.
we can change on a dime. If a part's not working, we can take it to the curb and we can move on to something better.
Yeah. Just buy
Our
the other.
iterations are always getting better. So it's a no-brainer. Like I would love to be in their shoes or have their deep pockets, but not at the expense of selling or selling out our souls and losing the quality or actually just the focus we have on putting something out there that is fun to ride or feels good or functions well, you know.
Right.
They're soulless demons is what they are.
All right. So Brennernet. We all know Brennernet.
Yep.
He has a crush on Derelict Robot, I think.
I do too. That guy's a fucking.
He's gorgeous.
He's like a Greek god, dude, with perfect facial hair.
He's a hunk of man meat, man.
He is.
I got to give him a hug.
Wow, you lucky bastard.
Yeah, I got.
Oh, did I give him a hug too? I probably blacked out.
He showed up in Colorado. I almost fainted.
Good looking man. I had him lay out on a couch in Bakersfield. I had him sprawl out and pose for me.
Did you paint him? You painted him, right? You painted him on one of your decks? Like you just painted him?
I've got like a mural in my backyard of his likeness.
So Brennernet wants to know, which body part do you wish you could detach and why?
Which body part do I wish I could detach?
Yeah, like if you could just like detach and reattach something on your body.
Well, I've already had a detachable knee, and I didn't like it very much. I had it reattached. It's much better.
So not your knee.
Not my knee.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question, man. I do like that song, Detachable Penis, though.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Put it in
song.
your pocket or whatever, you know. Upgrade it.
Leave it behind at a party to just wreak havoc on people.
Just leave it on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Oops.
Just fucking angry inching its way across the counter.
Ah! Several people were asking about ship times. I'm not going to answer that. I'm not even going to ask those questions. That's retarded. I'm going to let all the order questions and support questions pile up for when I interview Jason Potter.
We can be quick on that one, though. I don't mind answering.
All right.
I'm fucking busy. I'm busy. I'm working 18 fucking hour days trying to get this shit out to everyone. The orders don't stop. And I'm one guy. It's just the way it is.
Sometimes two.
I'm trying to get shit out. I'm working at it. I'm not running away with everyone's money. I'm living in a fucking garage where I only leave to use the bathroom so that I don't use the bathroom on parts. But I might.
I'd be fine with that. If I order wheels, you can just go to the bathroom on them. I'm okay.
Yeah, you got it. No, good tips coming out, man. Everybody's getting their parts, except for the ones that decided they wanted refunds. I'm, pretty much paid everyone off, except for one guy who's probably severely upset at me right now. But I did spend his money on his parts, and they're here in the shop. So I will get his money back to him, or I will get him a board. But it's coming.
You can send me his board. Let me test his board to make sure it's good.
You got it.
I don't even know how to say this username. Wattis? Yeah, he wanted to know what your favorite Talking Heads album is.
Album?
And I have to assume the one with Psychotiller on it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I like all of their music, though. I have every Talking Heads album on my iPod over there. Yeah, I love Talking Heads, but I don't know their album names.
He says you have won his heart if it's Fear of Music. If that's your favorite album,
It
then,
could be.
then
It
you'll
could-
have a cheap date with one of
You
our.
know, and you're gonna think this is funny, but Chris Chaput actually loves Talking Heads now too, and he's often blasting it over at ABEC 11, like constantly. So we listen to Talking Heads all the time.
So I have this new working theory that you are slowly consuming Chris Chaput, and that you are becoming him.
Nope, I'm not smart enough. The dude is crazy. He's an evil genius. Yeah, I don't think the world would be prepared for a genius of that type in Psychotiller form. It's crazy.
Choose your destructor.
Yeah. But I mean, he's kind of assimilated a lot of what we're doing,
Yeah.
which I'm fine with because his parts rock, and I'm just not gonna use second-rate shit.
So is he going downhill on Psychotillers now?
Is he gonna do what?
Is he going downhill on your 6-shooters now?
Pretty much. He doesn't, I don't know if I should. I think he likes 6-shooters better than 107s.
I want to see him. I want to see him bombing downhill on rubber.
He'll do it.
I want to see
But
it.
I mean, he knows the benefits of urethane and downhill. So
Oh yeah.
the guy's a mad scientist.
Yeah, he is kind of crazy.
Wait till you see the 111.
111s. You know what's fucking hilarious to me? The only thing you have to do to come up with a fucking wheel is pick a size no one's done yet, even if it's off by 1 fucking millimeter.
These go to 11, fuckers.
Yeah, turn it up to 11. I'll buy a set of those. Are they kegel cord? Probably.
Yes.
They are.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the new cord. I feel like the community has spoken. I mean.
Nope, they're going to have ABEC flywheel cores in them.
All right. So Chalky wants to know, Hugh Jackman or Brad Pitt to make Sexy Time?
I would say Brad Pitt.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll double date. Matt will have Hugh Jackman.
Mike Maynard wants to know why you don't love him anymore.
Why I don't love him anymore?
Yeah, he says Chris Chaput stole you from him, and he's insanely jealous.
He's not jealous.
And the flowers aren't working apparently. So
The thorns have been scraping my soft part.
Mutant Bass seems to say that you have this calm, I got this demeanor about you. What's your response to that? Do you feel like you're calm and you got this?
Yeah, I do. I got this.
I mean, you seem like you got this.
But what I would suggest is what Matt just suggested. He needs to come work in the shop with me for a day. It won't be for free. He'll leave with something that makes him happy, and he'll see exactly what I do all day long.
Right on.
Oh, and he's not allowed to take naps.
No naps?
No naps.
Well, I'm just saying, if Psychotiller ever buys out LHB, there's a nap clause in my contract. I get to nap.
I don't know, man. We keep it exciting.
I
No,
need
Matt doesn't
nap.
fall asleep. This guy falls asleep now and then.
I eat a giant meat sub for lunch every day, so I have to nap around 2 o'clock, and that's what I need in my life.
Yeah, but I'll put like Adderall on your sandwich and we'll fucking fix that shit.
Just a little Adderall in a shaker. Just get it all on there.
Yep.
Deuce is down, the man responsible for almost all of the questions in Johnny's interview.
Nice.
He wants to know a few things, but I think I've already asked most of them already. CAN bus or split PPM?
Wow. Well, okay. We still use both. I used to, hands down, completely hate CAN bus because of some of the self-destruct nature of it. But I think that's been sorted out. And on two-wheel drive systems, we're using CAN bus here. But on four-wheel drive setups, I'm using split PPM.
Split between the CAN bus groups, right?
What's that?
Do you run split PPM between two CAN bus groups? Because that's what I always did.
Yeah, no. If I'm doing four-wheel drive, I go solid split PPM. And the reason is because the one length on CAN bus seems to do weird shit sometimes, and
it does.
I've had a couple of
Jake and I
mishaps.
noticed. We experimented with what we called cross CAN bus, where you in a four-wheel drive situation where you'd have like the back left and the front right on the same controller, and then split the PPM between the two groups, and then add in traction control. And what that would do is that would split the traction control between the back left and the front right, and vice versa. And it actually gave like more grip in like the mossy areas of the trails. But it did act a little funny with the length of the CAN bus wires. And of course, you're still talking about not running unities and those. So
let me ask you this question. This is a question for the community.
All right.
Has anyone else ever burned out 9 speed controllers in like an hour?
You mean anyone other than like fucking Blasto or somebody?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I did that because I was trying to work something out with Maytech. We were going back and forth on some new. We're doing an OEM speed controller with Maytech right now.
Shut your mouth.
We are. But
Jake and I were just talking about doing that shit.
Yeah, and we've worked a couple things out. And so in the beginning, this was going on like 6 or 7 months ago, I was using Eileen basically as my, what do you call it, translator with the engineers.
Yeah.
And we're going back and forth, and whether or not shit gets lost in translation or I'm just a total goof with instructions, I would hook shit up and I'd hook up 4 speed controllers and they would just go poof. And I'm like, fuck. So I'd have to hook 4 more up and the same shit would happen. And we're going back and forth. And I'm like, well, I know I'm doing it right. And I know I'm doing it this way. And what it all boiled down to was, yeah, the long CAN bus was the issue. And so that's where the whole split PPM for 4-wheel drive came from. And I've never had an issue since. And it helped them as well. Now, like we have diagrams now. If you go to Maytech and ask them how to do something, those diagrams are going to come basically from here through them to you. It was an expensive ordeal. It always happens when you don't have money too, and it's like, fuck. Now I'm down like $1,500 in speed controllers.
Holy shit!
And yeah, so but it all got repaired. It all got worked out. It's all good to go.
Yeah, we were thinking about going Maytech ESCs this, within the next several months to see how they were holding up, and it sounds to me like that's the way to go. Like, I mean, I've been able to keep some unities in stock, but they just don't show up on time. Like the delays in shipping, and anytime I order anything from Maytech, she's like, oh yeah, send us invoice, and I got it in 2 weeks. It's done.
Dude, like, sometimes I get shit from them in 2 days.
Yeah, it's kind of retarded. Like they've really come a long way. They've come a long way, and they've gotten pretty deep into the e-surf stuff too. I've noticed And I've been thinking about maybe there needs to be an electric surfboard, like not a hydrofoil, but a proper electric surfboard. You
You know
know?
what I want? A proper electric whitewater kayak.
Yeah. I could
Dude.
see a couple of jets on a banana boat.
Because those are great on waves too. Those whitewater river kayaks, the shorties.
Hell yeah.
That'd be fun.
Fun as hell. I want to get one of those trick surfboards and put like 2 or 3 jets on the back of that shit.
All right.
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine how much battery that's going to take. You know, that's just ridiculous. Yeah. And all day to charge.
That board that you rode in Colorado is dual 100 amp BESCs from Maytech.
Yeah. Oh man, I had that one on the stand. It was so amazing.
240 burst amp, 100 amp continuous, FOC 12S at 230 kV.
Jesus. The handle and FOC at 230 kV?
Yep.
Wow. That says a lot. Stably at 12S, that says a lot.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it took a beating there in Colorado.
Yeah. A lot of people were riding that board.
We just rode it again today. It's great.
Sounds like Eileen's gonna get some more of my business.
Good.
They're doing a lot of good stuff over there. Have you used their waterproof remote?
No, I haven't even ordered one of those yet. I was looking.
It doesn't really have like useful information on the screen from what I hear, but
it looks to me that
that's my interest.
Doesn't it look exactly the same as the R2 remote?
Vaguely, yeah. They kind of.
I think that remote. I don't like it. Something about braking and throttle with 2 different fingers is kind of retarded.
I don't like that.
It doesn't work. I'll kill myself with something like that. They want to, and I take it personally. It's like Evolve wants to kill me.
Right. You should.
It's not cool.
You know what? They're full of crap. I fucking hate Evolve because they've sent me so much money.
I know, right?
Their fucking money. I don't know what to do with their customers' money. I'm tired of cleaning up their mess. Like, I've fixed so many of their fucking battery messes.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to take you for a walk.
Okay.
Can you see over there?
Oh, shit. What's a bamboo?
There's the... and over here?
Oh, shit. There's another one. That's a GTX.
And over here.
Oh, shit. There's another one. Hey, is that a LaCroix?
Yeah. There's a pile of fucking boards here that I don't actually build.
What are you doing, Dave? Like, why are you modding things?
I don't know.
What are you doing with the LaCroix? Dude, I gotta confess. I have a huge confession. All right. The latest version of that Johnny and Alex and all of those guys did, I took that shit on the street track, and I felt so locked in and safe and secure in that thing that I didn't know that I could get a better ride, really. And I think it's just a super wide stance. It wasn't the fastest fucking board that I felt like I was on, but it felt like the safest somehow. So then
the new version
on the dirt track, and it was like, holy shit, is this even dirt? Is this even like, am I on pavement still? I don't fucking know, because it's so fucking wide and monstrous that it's like a Hummer. You don't even know what you're driving on. It doesn't matter.
It's cool. It's big. I can't believe how fucking monstrous it is.
It's huge.
What's it weigh? Is it 50 pounds?
It feels like it weighs as much as my goddamn 9-bot, which is 60 pounds. But I don't think it does, but it feels like it. Because when I just picked it up to like carry it under my arm, it didn't quite work so well. Like, but it's super stable.
That's
I'd
good.
rather have something narrower with a wedge on it, something I can grab my feet on if I'm going to race. But that thing is like casually some kind of fucking Suburban or something.
That's cool.
Kind of like a board.
I actually I'm doing a lot of LaCroix repairs now, so nothing real intricate, but there's a steady stream of them coming through the shop, so I get to try them as well. It's
So you're doing their warranty stuff?
pretty much,
That's cool.
yeah. I don't know how much busier I can make myself. But we'll probably, it's easy stuff. Their board's pretty easy to work on.
Yeah, they seem pretty clean, which is nice. It's very nice. Arcboards has been sending me box after box after box because I'm going to be doing their assembly work. And my house has started filling up with shit. You were talking about moving into a machine shop or something later on, or in the process of moving. I need something like that because they're just sending me parts for their next machines, and I'm going to have to assemble all that stuff. I've almost run out of space.
Yep, and it piles up real quick.
Yeah. I'm doing BioBoard's batteries and U.S. distributions, and also mailing to foreign countries because they can't figure out how to do it. And then I've got all of the Arcboard's U.S. orders, so they're just piling up like the parts. They're sending me parts boxes, and I'm like, where do I fucking put this shit? And then there's no way to involve mods.
How is your business as far as steady builds? Like how many builds are you doing a month? Do you think?
Like my customs, I only do like 10 to 12 of those customs a year. I've got probably 4 or 5 of them happening right now in the works, but that's not like my own thing. I do that. I don't think anybody can really afford me. I think that's what it is. Because I'm a little expensive, but I don't know. I decided to do other things also. So I've got like a whole other like side business. But since Jerry disappeared, I've actually been doing a few Evo torque board builds, which those torque board drive systems are pretty fucking serious.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. We tried to set Jensen's torque board drives up here, and they sounded like chainsaws when we went to do motor detection. And I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. I'm like, there's no way these are chainsaw motors.
No, they're not chainsaw motors.
I know they're not gas powered, so what is that fucking sound? And and we were just like kind of baffled, and I ended up giving up. I was like, dude, I don't know what the problem is, but I feel like I'm going to destroy them if we do any more motor detection trying to work our way through this. It sounded bad, but he took it home and like a week later troubleshot through it and figured it out, and he loves it.
Yeah,
so
they're strange. I actually figured out there's one phase lead combination. You remember how like for people that don't run their own motor detection or whatever, a lot of times the phase leads are in the wrong order when you plug them in.
Okay.
Usually they're spinning backwards and one's spinning forwards. That's chances are. I mean, it's a flip of the die. So then what you do is you flip 2 of the phase leads, and then it works, usually. That's the way it used to do. With the torque force motors, for whatever reason, there's 2 good combinations and 1 really bad one.
So you think, seriously, that's all it was when I was... Wow, what a trip.
And it's the most bizarre thing I've ever come across. Because, I mean, we've run motor detection on hundreds of fucking motors. Like, it's not problem usually, but with the torque boards, there is a combination. There's a combination of, like, the fucking phase leads on the Vesks and on the Unities even. We found it on the Unities and even on the flock boxes. You get them, like, in just this one particular wrong order. They just sound like ass. And you got to...
Yeah, we should put out a memo. if your motors sound like scare the shit out of you, like if you actually need to change your diaper after you do motor detection, then it's just a phase lead order issue. That's crazy.
Dude, I checked all my sensor connections.
Yeah.
I resoldered all my fucking bullets. I did everything I could think of before I just swapped it or kept swapping it around until it finally worked.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
next time.
It's retarded. But yeah, once they work, man, they're solid. We've been basically running them on and off the road, getting them on, like grinding them on the side of the edge of the street and shit, running them off of sidewalks and just like banging them up as much as we can. The cans are pretty solid. That's for direct drives. I think he's done it. I think Dexter's done it for direct drives.
That's cool. That's good to hear. And you think they're robust enough for pneumatic?
He's actually coming out with some pneumatics, I believe.
I know.
And I think they will. I think the lower KV ones will do just fine on them. I have no problem starting from a standstill, even on an incline, like in the dirt. Like they don't give a shit. If you dump the curtain, they get a little warm, but they seem to handle the abuse fine.
That's cool.
I'm kind of impressed. I'm glad somebody stepped up and did the direct drives, because the only people in the hub drive game really that matter are fucking Jason, and who knows when you can get one of those.
Nah, I'm still not shy about saying hub motors with urethane sleeves is retarded.
It's absolutely retarded.
Yeah, so whatever. People want to fucking buy Raptors. They all end up coming here to my shop and complaining about their shit falling off. So buy them up. It doesn't matter to me.
Oh man, full urethane.
Yep.
How do you feel about gear drives?
I'm not opposed. The only reason that I honestly haven't gone to a gear drive is because in maybe my old age, I've collected a few phobias of maybe shit getting stuck in metal teeth.
Yeah.
That completely freaks me out. The only other thing I would say is maintenance. Having to deal with internal gear drives that are bathed in grease. It's just messy. Maybe replacing a gear drive apart. I've seen prices upwards of like $130, $140. A belt is like $3.
Yeah. And belts are configurable. If you get tired, you can change your wheel pulley. You can change your motor.
Yeah. Yep. We can swap out. We can swap 6-shooters to 107s or 111s in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And we don't make a mess doing it.
Something I've been thinking about recently, and I'll let you have this because I'm part of the community. But I think sealed belt drives are probably where it's going to end up.
Have you been thinking about that? Because every day I sit, I'll put something together and I'll be like, and I'll stare at a belt drive and I'll be like, fuck, there's got to be an easy way to just encase this belt.
Dude, look at 3D Services gearbox. There's no reason you couldn't put belts inside that instead of gears.
Oh, no shit, there's room in that one?
Probably. I mean, if I'm going to run a 1636 on boas, I'd really like to have just a little case around it.
Matt's going to put them tonight, brother.
Do it. I'm gonna need some kickbacks.
That's not a bad idea though. Even a partial cover for a belt drive would completely eliminate the whole twig issue.
Okay, so those Chinese boards that Jake destroyed, that Sam sent us, the Tronics boards, the 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel rear drive, brushed motor builds, the big ones with the 10-inch tires, right? Those all had sealed belt drives.
Yeah, actually, I have one right here.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Yep.
There's
You know how much belt wear that gets? You know how many rocks get in that fucking belt? None.
true.
No tears. That shit'll last you a fucking year and a half before you have to buy another one. And still, they're only $12.
Yep. Honestly, man, I haven't had. I could say probably in the last 3 years, I've only had like two or three customers that have said they stripped a belt or broke a belt.
Yeah.
I've had some people buy a few replacements, but I've lucked out on belts and tires. People aren't buying replacement 6-shooter tires. They're not buying belts.
Right.
So when people are like, you got to do gear because belts break or belts get stretchy or belts melt when they get wet. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's my favorite. Belts stretch.
I miss the old arguments on the forum. I gotta say that.
Yeah. That's some good shit, man. Yeah, when they get wet, they shrink.
Right. Cool. When my belts get wet, they show my nipples.
That's indecent. You can't have that. Mishrasu Baharansu. I don't know how to fucking say that. All right. Wants to know if you will ever make fiberglass enclosures.
Nope. I doubt it'll ever happen. Not because I hate fiberglass enclosures, but I do hate cutting holes in fiberglass enclosures to put switches or displays or honestly, man, ABS, if you put it on a stiff deck, holds up just fine. Ask Jamie.
Yeah.
We were in Vegas, and me, Brandon Biggs, Matt, and Jamie all met up in Vegas for the day. And we went on a little ride. And we were on this bike path that had like, I guess like water runouts or something, like spillways. And one of them that we were getting ready to ride through had this really nice transition up off the side and down into it. And I was like, sick. And I went up off the side, rode down it. And it was like probably like 30 or 40 feet to the other side. And it looked, I'm assuming that the side that I rode down was going to be the exact same thing on the other side, right? You would think it would be fucking symmetrical.
Right.
But some retarded city worker or engineer decided to not put a transition. It was just a fucking flat corner to a flat wall. And I was like, holy shit. But I didn't see it until it was well too late.
Yeah.
So I fucking hit that wall and rode up the wall and over the sharp ass corner on the top of it with my ABS enclosure.
Just
Dude,
slid over it.
Dude, just seriously just slid up and over the top of that transition. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I just basically wrecked the enclosure and the battery. It was fine.
This is what happens to fiberglass after a while. You just scrape that shit up.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah, it'll slide over a curb just fine, but that's what it looks like.
Yep, I mean that's what my ABS enclosure looked like. Though we never replaced it. It was fine. So I don't have any issues with my ABS enclosures.
Well, they're easier to make for you. I mean, you got a mold and everything. You got like this
I can crank them out.
cranky magic plastic thing.
Yep, takes like what 3 or 4 minutes to make. 5 minutes to make the actual enclosure. It might take a couple hours to make a mold for me, a few hours.
Yeah.
And then, just a little bit of time to cut the enclosure out and you're good to go. If somebody needs a replacement, I usually charge them like $40. I don't know what somebody would charge for a replacement fiberglass enclosure or how long it would take to make it.
How much I paid for it. If it was,
Right.
if it was one of these, it'd be like $75.
There you go, right? But so how long does it take you to make that?
I don't.
Oh, you're buying them now. Okay.
I got a guy in Apopka making my witch-bladed closures.
That's cool.
And that's right down the street. But if they were going to come from Peru like these did, that's $125.
Right.
So,
how long does their time take to make them? What's their setup time, do you think?
do what now?
How long does it take them to make one enclosure?
One of mine or like in Peru?
One of yours in Peru. I don't know.
I had to make my own form, right?
Oh, okay. You send them the form.
They spray it with the poly or whatever that makes it like super smooth and clean, and then they do the release agent, and then they start popping them off of that. It takes them about a week to give me maybe 5 or 10 enclosures.
Okay.
But
that's not bad.
But they're not like done when I get them, because kind of like when yours come off the form, you still have to cut them and trim them and put the holes in them.
Sure.
Yeah, I still got to do all that shit, and that's the part I hate about fiberglass. Like you gotta like wear a mask and glasses and you can't get all that shit on your skin, and it's fucking itchy. But the ones from BB Enclosures in Peru, I don't mind so much because they come like so finished that all I got to do is drill a couple holes. And that's it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I do prefer fiberglass because it kind of, I don't know, the way that it wears. And also I had no luck at all with ABS. Like I just had no I probably made like 3 different fucking ovens. I never figured it out. I fucking hate it now.
You were right there with me in the beginning, brother.
I know, man. Like I just didn't get it. Like you had it. And then, I don't know. I think I gave up when I made that, what was it? It was a space heater rig that I built.
I made one of those too.
Yeah.
I made one of those in the beginning, and all it did was piss me off.
Yeah, that shit pissed me off. And then I never found I never found the right oven, and I needed one that was like this wide, right? And I couldn't fucking find one.
Yep.
So I just gave up.
All those issues as well. It was just once I think in a certain sense my OCD, because I'm obviously I have issues. Once I start a project, I can't stop.
Yeah.
I have to see it to its fruition, even if it is basically going to end up driving off of a cliff. That's where I'll be.
Right.
I'll ride that shit off the cliff before I give up. And that's how I've been. But yeah, the vacuum form thing you were asking about is from a place called Centroform.
Okay.
And they made it for me. Like they're made to order essentially. And it was an investment.
Yeah, I'll bet it was. I can't even imagine what that cost. Like I had when I got my press finished, my press was almost $3,000, and it's just welded steel. It's just a big chunk of fucking welded plate steel. And if I hadn't gotten such a good deal on my welder, that never would have happened.
Dude, but then this is where you've kicked my ass with the welder. You scored such a great deal on that thing. I've stuck with my all these little ass $200 welders. I have like 5 of them, and I fucking burn one out once a week, and it's like I finally I found a good one. It was like $350, and it actually welds the shit out of anything.
Dude, the one you're talking about, the Suncos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there was one guy on eBay, because I've got the same Sunco I've been using, and if I pull that out, it'll still work. But
I have a better one now, though.
Oh, okay.
The one that you and I have is fine unless you weld too fast, and then it's like phew.
It overheats.
Welding, it just stops. And that's happened to me so many times, and then I'll call them and I'll be like, "This thing's broken," and they'll be like, "Well, send us a video." And then I go to do a video, and it fucking welds. Every goddamn time I try and return it, it fucking welds on the video. And I'm like, ah. So I use it again for like another month, and then it does that shit again. It's happened like 4 times. So whatever. I'll keep it, you know, and I'll just threaten it with a return and it'll start working again. No, but here, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
All right, I gotta see this.
$797 DH. So I got a new one. It's like this pretty baby blue color.
They got new colors.
It's a 797 DH.
I haven't heard of that one yet.
I hadn't either, and I just happened to find it, and it said it was a 3.8 kilowatt welder. So I was like, that sounds cool, and it actually is. It's welding so good.
Is it dual pulse or single pulse?
You can do dual or single pulse, but even on single pulse, it's rocking. And the one thing that I'm really loving about it is the wand doesn't fucking heat up.
Oh, you got a wand on it.
And it doesn't heat up.
Holy shit. So it's like, you know, it's not one of these jobs here where, because this one gets hot.
Yeah, no, it's a blue one though. It's not like it's got tungsten. The tips on it are tungsten copper or some. It's different.
Oh shit, you can weld copper with that.
Yeah. So it's cool, man. It doesn't ever get hot because those other ones burn the shit out of your hand if you weld too fast.
So these sunstone tips. These
and so what? You set one down, and then you pretty much weld with the other one, right? The positive side.
Yeah, you put the positive down, and you just pop the negative.
Yeah, that's great.
That's cut my time in like a third. That sunstone's a monster, man. That unit, that belonged to Apple.
Oh, okay.
Apple computer. So apparently there was something wrong with it, and instead of getting it fixed, Apple decided to buy another one.
Nice.
And so when I showed them pictures of my 799H, my fucking retarded Sunco, they were like, "You're welding on that? We follow your Instagram. That's what you're fucking using?"
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
I was like, "Yeah, it's terrible. Can you get me a deal? I can afford maybe $1,500 for a welder, but $3,000 is fucking retarded. I can't do it." You know, so they were like, "Oh, hold up. Maybe we can help you somehow." So then I waited a couple of weeks, and like they sent me this really formal email and asked me for my assistance in helping them properly dispose of some products. So like, can I help them recycle some product, basically? And they sent me this welder to dispose of.
Nice. That's great. That's how I ended up with these steel cabinets beside me. Matt's company was moving, and they had like hundreds of these steel cabinets. They're great. They're like really expensive steel cabinets. They lock. I'm like, I'll take those. And he just was like, "Yeah, come pick these up."
Yeah, we're throwing. We got to get rid of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like nothing wrong with this welder. I don't know why Apple was like whatever.
That's great, man. I've always got my eye out to find one, but there's no deals to be had right now.
They're retarded. I mean, they're absolutely retarded because they're made for CNC heads. Like you put them on like the X-Carve battery welder, basically, and they just pop, you know, like 50 welds per second.
I think you should have that whole setup already.
I should probably just mass produce these right here and just sell them. Somebody was telling me I should do that.
Nice. Yep. I'm gonna order packs from you.
You tired of building batteries? You build good batteries. Like you do shit that's really nice. It doesn't break.
Yeah, but I'm maybe getting a couple packs a day done. It would be nice to be able to get more done in a day.
Yeah.
It's hard, you know.
It took me all day just to weld these. They're not wired yet.
What's that?
It took me all fucking day to weld these, and they're not even wired yet.
Yeah, but how many packs is that?
That's 4.
Yeah,
2
well,
and,
I
2
do-
10S4Ps and 2 12S6Ps.
yep, that's about what I could get done in a day as well. But when you're doing that and you're focusing on that, and you're like, well, I have these other 2 builds to get out, or I have to build 3 sets of 6 shooters, and I got to make 6 enclosures, and then I got to go to ABEC.
Yeah.
You've got to suffer the same daily nightmares.
It is.
You have a
insane.
job.
I got like 8 hours a day that I don't need to be where I'm at during that 8 hours a day. Like, I need to be here doing this shit.
Right.
You know, and I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But
How do you have your other job? How do you focus at your other job when you have all this shit to do?
I can't. It's fucking impossible. Like, I'm barely hanging on over there because 1, I don't want to be there, and 2, I don't want to be there.
Right.
And
That's
3, I
how
got
I
other shit to do, so I don't want to be there. Like,
how much shit did this guy destroy when I was in an excavator, a big ass excavator, at work, thinking about building fucking boards, swinging a 6,000 pound bucket around on the end of an excavator? I was killing people, man.
Dave, you dug that hole in the wrong place. But esk8.
Right. Yeah. But your car's
building, Dave.
right.
But esk8.
Well, it's not that many questions. I was hoping there'd be like tons of chicks asking questions.
Yeah.
Not even Andrew.
Yeah. Well, Brennernet wants dick pics. So make sure, yeah, go back to the forum, post lots of those.
You better be careful what he asks for.
Oh yeah. Also, are you taking care of my Gorilla Tape? Is it safe?
It's over my place now.
Now it's at Matt's place.
Oh shit. I don't want to know. I don't want to know, man.
It's hanging out with the walkie-talkie from Las Vegas.
Look, as long as it's safe. You know?
No, it's not.
Because hey, you guys gotta come to Central Florida. There's not gonna be any excuses. It's gonna be late fall.
Is the next event in Florida?
Okay.
Okay.
You gotta come to my shop. You gotta come to Tampa.
What's
a river walk, a neon river walk in Tampa that has like 6 bars on it. It's retarded.
We'll go. We'll be there. We'll make it happen.
Fuck yeah. That's what I want to hear.
I am pissed and hurt that I had to miss Colorado, but I won't miss your event. So I will be there.
Yep. It's gonna be a sort of a 2-parter. There's gonna be like 2 or 3 days in Orlando, and then maybe 2 days in Tampa. And we're gonna try to get some track racing in if we can find a track to take us seriously. But we haven't had a lot of luck around here with these motorsport tracks because they're like, "What skateboards? What the fuck is wrong with you? Go find a hill." So they're not really taking us seriously, I think, until we get to Sean Fahey to edit our video.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like, "Hey, look what we've been doing the last 2 years." Then maybe they'll get it.
We
If
should
we
get
get
him
Bubba down there and get some of your boards on there, that'll be the shit.
There's going to be some big shit happening this year, and I'm glad that you're going to have an event to go to.
It's gonna be awesome.
I think you'll be able to get Tashawn there. We should get Justin you there as well.
There's gonna be gorgeous fucking trail rides in Ocoee. We're gonna like the first half of it's probably gonna be over here, and we're gonna have we're going to have some trail rides where there's just charge stations with food on either end. And you just like free ride all day on these beautiful wooden trails and just kill it. Because it's fucking awesome.
All right. We're in.
All right, man. You've been great, man.
Thank you. You're a fabulous host. Fist bump.
Fist bump. Later, guys.
Later, guys.